In this video, we're going to be checking out the Shaper Origin. We're going to be putting it through its maiden run, and we're going to be making this cool little retractable shelf for your bits, as well as this cabinet to put the shelf in. So stay tuned in, buckle your belts in, and check this out. What up, y'all? Today is quite an exciting day. I finally decided to bite the bullet and put up the money to buy something I've been wanting to get a very long time. This is the Shaper Origin Gen 2, as well as the Shaper plate. Anyways, let's get to it. Let's check it out what's inside the box. So when you order Shaper, this is what you get in the mail. We'll turn this little knob here, and we have a little case here. It's kind of dark right now, but that's basically what's inside of there. And this, my friends, is the Shaper Origin. Now, I don't know if the camera can see here off to the side. You may be wondering why I have all my router bits out. Well, today we're gonna make a little project where I make a little shelf for all my router bits. Now let's check out the Shaper plate. Now again, I already opened this, so when you open this, this is actually going to be inside of a black cloth. And we have a little toolbox. And inside of the Shaper toolbox, we have some clamps. And these are used to hold down your Shaper plate. And there's a couple little additional accessories that I'm not really sure what these are for yet. I'm gonna have to look it up. We have that and these little bolts. So here I'm gonna start off with this small piece of scrap wood I have lying around. We put the Shaper Origin on top of that. When we plug in the Shaper, it's gonna go ahead and boot itself on. I don't know if you can see that with the reflection here in the screen. It's a very nice screen, by the way. We are updated to the newest update, Jenner. Okay, we're gonna wanna go to a new scan. We hit start scan and it's gonna start scanning all these dominoes. Now I'll have to put the camera down here because I have to use two hands to do this part. So basically, we wanna pick this up with both our hands and we wanna scan the plate. And then we can put it back down and hit finish with the little green button here on the side. I downloaded a couple files from the Shaper Hub here, as well as a file that I created inside of Inkscape, which is in my USB in this little bag here, so give me a second. We're gonna put that right in. And I created this file to create folding shelves for these little router bits here. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on that file, and there are two shapes right here where it's zoom right in. We also want to scale this down, say to about 6 inches. We're going to hit place. This is going to be the first shape that I want. Now I have a little shop vac here. I don't have anything super expensive because I spent it all on the Shaper Origin. So we're going to use that as our dust collection. So as you can see, we did one pass. We're gonna have to do this in about 2 or 3 passes. This is gonna be the shape that we're gonna cut out. What I'm gonna do next is we're gonna lower the bit here. We're gonna go to 0.5. Theoretically, it should cut all the way through this, but we may have to go a hair more. I guess we'll find out. So I pretty much just kind of punched this out with the hammer. And now we're gonna flip our piece around here and repeat the process. I laid out another board under it so we don't cut the table on the bottom. And we're gonna repeat that process. When I have the depth set to 1/2 inch on the Shaper Origin, it doesn't quite cut all the way through. And I'm assuming that is because this is probably slightly thicker than 1/2 inch. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this over to the bandsaw and cut this out. So I pulled out some scrap pieces of wood here from my pile. Here are our cutouts. What we want to do next is we want to cut a long piece, say about the size or length of 3 of these. And I'm gonna just mark the top with my pencil here. That way I know where I want that to be. Because the piece we're about to cut is too long for the shaper plate, we're not gonna be able to use the shaper plate. At least I don't think so. So we're gonna use some of our shaper tape for this next part. What we wanna do is we want to place these roughly every 4 inches apart. Here is 2.
So here I'd like to note that the 2 pieces of tape I placed on the side do not help at all. Just place the ones horizontal up top if you happen to do this.
So now I'm gonna get a drill bit and I have some bolts here. We're gonna go ahead and bolt it with Kobe. And I'm pretty much just going to eyeball it and get the center holes the best I can. Alright you guys, I've been here for a little while trying to figure this stuff out. I drilled a ton of holes in this trying to get the holes in the right spot. I didn't realize how precise the holes had to be, or how precise the location of the holes had to be, because if we open it up, it's pretty close, but it doesn't quite look right. So it looks like it's back to the drawing board. I'm gonna have to position the holes with an Inkscape because I thought I was gonna be able to get away with doing it by hand, but apparently not. So I'm gonna have to wrap it up for now and get back to the drawing board and fix that up. So I went ahead and I cut all the pieces a second time, and this is how it came out. It looks like it's working flawless. This is exactly what we want it to do. We're gonna make the other side and then we're gonna make the shelves and put it together. So now I went ahead and I made 2 of them, and I took the liberty of cutting out some little shelves that we're going to attach right on the tops of these. So let's get to it.
So here you'll notice I already cut out some simple boards spanning across the 2 pieces I made using my radial arm saw, and I'm just attaching them to the top.
Alright, so we have the plate on top of our piece here, and for the next step I downloaded this file called Bit Holder, which is basically just a bunch of holes. We're going to go ahead and select that. We are going to position that. We're not going to be able to get all the holes, but we'll get some of them, which is all we really need. Put a few more over here on this side, but I think we're good for now. So check this out. Those will sit right in there just like that. Nice and beautiful. I went ahead and pulled out some of these pieces of wood from my scrap pile. We're going to make a cabinet for our router bit shelf right here, and we're going to start off by planing them down. Some of these do need to be planed down, and as well as planing them to the correct width. So let's.
And right here we're sending them through the DeWalt planer. Highly recommend this tool. I use it all the time.
Now in measuring out your individual pieces, I kind of like to do the little drop and mark method. We just drop this right on top here and we mark it right there. Now I plan on sanding this down, so I'm actually only going to put glue on half of it so that we can sand the other half down, and I'll show you guys why here in just a minute. and I'm going to attempt to brad nail it. I don't know if there's enough for the brad nailer to go through or if it's gonna miss, but we're about to find out. And it looks like I caught it. So let's do one more. We're over here at the bench sander. We're gonna go ahead and sand that half right off. And I just wanted to sand these a little thinner. That way it looks a little better aesthetically, and we have a little bit more room inside. And I think it looks great. It's coming together nicely. So now we're gonna cut these bolts down and we're gonna make some sparks. Well, that is red hot.
I just thought I'd throw this cool little slow motion shot in here for you guys to check out.
Check this out, guys. This is how it's looking. It's looking awesome. I am loving it so far. And look at that. That comes down nicely. Now it's not perfect as always, but it works and I'm very proud of it. By the way, if you guys are enjoying this video and you would like to support me so that one day I can finally afford my dream workshop, check out my new website over at mycraftsmanship.com. Again, that is www.mycraftsmanship.com. There you'll be finding some t-shirts that I am selling. Here's one of many. This is the Dia de los Muertos style t-shirt, as well as many others, and some of my woodcraft projects that I'll be selling later on this summer. So go ahead and check that out and enjoy the rest of the video.
This is one of my all-time favorite shots. I absolutely love using this bandsaw because it's just so satisfying to watch.
So now we have our pieces nice and cut in half, and it looks pretty good, but we want the sides to be flat, as flat as possible. So we're going to send them through the planer, and also to clean this up, make the wood look brand new again. So look at this. Look how nice this wood looks. We just cleaned it up in the planer, and man, is that beautiful. I love it. Now what I'm going to do next is we're going to turn these to the side and send it through the planer sideways like that to clean up the sides. And just like that, wham bam, thank you man, we are clean again. And we are ready for construction. Alright, I went ahead and pulled this sucker out because I have a much finer tooth blade on here for cross cuts. Check that out. That is one heck of a clean cut. And there's the end. No splintering. Here's what it's looking like. We're gonna cut some 45s on these boards now so we can put it together and glue it together in the corners. I'm actually gonna go ahead and drop the blade. We're gonna put it all the way down, lock that in place, and I'm gonna put my square right here up against the fence as we turn our blade, and that is how we can get a perfect and quick 45 the very first time. And there is our next cut. Now keep in mind, we actually want to add an additional 1/4 of an inch to this line because we are compensating for the width of the tongue here. All right, this is the tongue and groove. I'm going to draw that line right there, and that is our 1/4 mark. And I may even cut it out a hair past that just in case, to be safe, but it's always better to be safe than sorry. Nice, look how clean that looks. I just love how clean that is. So we are back here at the router table. We're gonna pull the router out, and here I have a rabbiting bit. And what we're gonna do is we are going to router a chamfer along the edges here so that the 2 corners can come along together evenly. So when we glue it together, there's no slipping and sliding among the 2. So I took the liberty of drawing some lines on here. I know there's quite a lot of lines, but I darkened the lines that I actually want to cut up to. And there's 3 other lines on the center that we're not cutting, so we're just cutting from the dark line out. And then on the second corner, we're going to cut out the opposite. We're cutting out the middle instead. Now before anybody says anything, yes, I know it came out a little bit burnt. I need a sharper blade, but I ain't got the funds for it right now, so you make do with what you got. Check it out. That is a nice corner. I am loving it already. It's already looking like a cabinet door. I just love how satisfyingly clean that looks. Now we got 3 more corners to do. Once that is all complete, we're gonna take this slot cutter bit from our Warrior bit set. I got this from Harbor Freight, and these are actually much sharper than the bits I was just using, so let's give it a shot. This is going to be to cut our groove for the window.
Here I'm doing a quick test fit to see how well the acrylic fits into the frame, and it does fit a bit tight. Find out here in a second, so we're gonna cut it down and then test fit it again.
It's almost there and it's looking great.
So here we remove just a hair off the edge, and that does it if it's just perfect right after that.
Alright, next we're going to put a rounded inner corner on it to give it a bit of an aesthetic look. Check that out. That's pretty cool. Well, it took me long enough to get this thing right, but I got it and it's looking nice. So I'm finally gonna call it a night and we'll resume in the morning. All right, this is the box here. Here we have the front, and this is how it's looking. It's looking awesome. For this next step, we're going to drill out our holes on the door with some Forstner bits for the hinges.
Now this is one of the parts of the video I didn't record because I don't want to make the video too long and bore you guys, but here I'm cutting out a piece of 2x4 with the miter saw, and then I cut the shape out using the Shaper Origin, using a file I actually downloaded from the Shaper Hub, which if you guys have the Shaper, go ahead and check it out. The Shaper Hub is dope.
That feels quite nice. And the last, we get to glue it down. I also cut off the bottom half to take off some of that material. I think it looks a little bit better with a lower profile. Nice and sleek and slim. I like it. To squeeze all that glue out. And it looks like it's working perfectly. Next we have here a shelf that I cut out. We're going to put on the top where the router bits go, or right above the router bits rather. And I'm going to use the Shaper Origin to carve out a, I guess, kind of bowl to put more pieces in, or whatever you want to use it for.
Now I will note this process does take a very long time. I think I spent like an hour just carving out this thing.
Now I'm going to use my Bosch router to very carefully remove the majority of the inside pocket.
Now I think this is one of the most satisfying things in the world, just to watch that massive bit cutting through the wood like it's butter, like it's absolutely nothing. I just think that's the most satisfying thing ever.
But our box shelf is finally complete. We can finally install it. I spent the past couple hours carving this thing out. It looks great, and guess what? Yep, I messed up. I totally forgot to rip it to width before carving the boxes, but you live and you learn, right? However, this is still very usable. We're just going to cut a section off of the long part here, and I think we should be good to go. Alright, we got it ripped down and to width finally. So if you're wondering why this backspace is so tiny, now you know why, because I messed up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally complete and it's looking great. Now I think what I'm going to do is we're going to take some drill bits and we're going to store all these up here, because I have a ton of drill bits. I've been storing them in this little Tupperware container, but now I don't got to, because I got a place to put them all. And that, my friends, is the finished product, minus a handle. I could probably put a little door handle here, but I like the way it is, so I think I'm gonna leave it, and I'll probably put a finish on it in the future. But I think that's going to be it for this project. This is how it came out. We have a little storage space down here. This is just some more router bits in case anybody was wondering. And of course we have our shelf that retracts. And up top we have all our drill bits. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and don't forget to check out mycraftsmanship.com. Thank you guys for watching.